If there is one opportunity that has me staring in the face and I didn't take it, then it is Pepe. I remember this so clearly. This thing get launched, meme coin obviously, and it just kept selling off, and got dumped on everyone. Had a little bit of a move up, and then eventually we just had this very slow grind lower, and I was actually thinking about taking a long as soon as we would break out, just to trade it back to these highs right here, and not even the all-time highs, and then just take my profit. That actually already would have been a pretty big move. Look at that, almost 200%, and it was just to go for a macro lower high, and then eventually just to get out of position. We went a little bit higher, by the way, here on the daily. We did not take out that high on the move that followed. As you can see, we stayed just underneath. Then eventually we grind lower again and thought, okay, well, I missed that long, it's fine, just let it go. This thing is probably gonna go to zero. And I have to say I kind of lost interest because I also just didn't like the structure anymore. And little did I know that moment on, we would get a major rally to the upside, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was a 10x. Look at that, 1200% from the bottom, so there could have been a 10x, and I just completely missed it. And after that, yeah, I didn't want to chase the trade anymore. There were probably some opportunities here once we made that higher low, but also, if I looked at where we were in the cycle, I just didn't want to risk it for the biscuit, and therefore I missed my 10x on a Pepe. Although I was looking at the chart before over and over again. It is what it is. Today we're going to look at a couple of price targets now for the rest of the bull run and what we can expect. I have to say, it looks actually pretty damn good. So if you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think it's useful. Without further ado, let's start diving in. Now, I have been able to accumulate some Pepe at and around these price levels right here. That was based on some technical levels, so it was not a exact price level. It was more laddering into the trade, kind of DCAing here once we reached those price levels. So it was a pretty big area, but eventually I have my exposure to the spot alongside of things. This is now kind of the price section where we're looking at, and I've marked out a couple of things because I have to say, the longer I'm looking at it, the more I'm thinking, actually, it doesn't look all too bad. So we have this trend line that is also then touching a couple of highs, and it looks like we are having our breakout, right? So this is our top right here. We have a touch here, we have a touch here, and then we have a breakout here. And then of course we have a couple of volume pulls that I have from this entire area right here. And then we have this top range right here. We have our SFP, or a possible SFP, from the highs here, one high here, and then of course the all-time high that we put in. What am I looking at, or why am I enthusiastic about this? Well, it doesn't really matter if you're a pattern trader or breakout trader, you look more at volume. Actually, we have reclaimed already most of it. So the point of control of this area, obviously here at the bottom. So we are above the point of control. I have to say, volume profile looks extremely spiky. Not so pretty, but okay, it is what it is. If you are a pattern trader, you could say, well, we already broke out and now we're going for that back test. If you are someone who's looking at market structure, then also it looks nice, because if I draw a just to mark the highs here real quick, then you can see that if we would now come down to backtest this trend line, it also lines up with these highs. And if you're a volume trader, you could also say, well, actually we are going to backtest this volume right here. So this all lines up to get a little bit of a move down and then to go higher. And I'm talking about the price level starting from at and around, and I hope I said this correctly, 0.000010.5. And no, that's not my phone number, it is 0.000010.5. Please also look at the chart yourself. It could also of course be a little bit lower. Maybe we dip in slightly here, then I would say it is 0.000010. So just see that as an area, but this would be it will be absolutely perfect no matter how you look at this, no matter what kind of trader you are. That whole area right here, that would actually be super nice. Backtest of these highs, high volume, trend line, whatever. Also, if I would even take this even bigger, let me just quickly take this out, it also becomes a little bit of a mess. If I take this entire area, now I'm going back all the way from March 2024, even then you can see that the point of control is here at the bottom. And that's of course also one of the reasons why I accumulated at around these price levels, because there was so much volume exchanged at that price level. So with the idea that if we are going above, that this is now a very important support. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot of volume above us. That is good news if you are targeting for an all-time high, because if there's not so much volume, there's not so much resistance, and therefore the ride up back to the top can be very fast and very smooth. Now, to make it even juicier and even better, if you looking at market structure, you could say on the daily this is our absolute low. Then we have this high right here. Then we have a macro higher low, and now you could say this could be a lower high, or we are going to try to create here a higher low here on the daily. You could say, you know what, I'm looking this a little bit more detailed. I have now a couple of major lows that I want to point out. Let me just quickly draw this for all of you market structure heroes. Is that I'm looking at this low right here, a slightly higher low, then again a higher low, then again a higher low, and now of course I am again aiming then for that higher low to eventually bring price higher. Yeah, so again, doesn't really matter how you look at it. We want to see this level right here hold, and preferably not this low to be taken out. I do not care if price dips in here, stays here for a couple days and then blasts off. Please do not lose this low right here on the daily, because then you're creating really a macro lower low on a daily. You're losing this volume bunch. It's just not so pretty, and it's a pretty deep retracement. We want to see buyers stepping in, picking up, and then going higher. Again, first target here should be this high. This is 0.000014. Then we have him here at 16. And after that, actually, do not have a whole lot. I have marked out this point of control of this area, which is then at the 0.000020, and then we have this high. My strong belief and opinion is, if we are at this level and above this point of control, this last ride up is already a pretty fast move. It is quote unquote only 35%, but honestly here there is really nothing anymore. Right, this is just a void. There is barely any volume, so I would say this is really your absolute last hurdle until you have an all-time high. Could we go higher than the current all-time high? Yes, of course we can. Mind you, if we now go back to the current all-time high from this local long trade or the local long area that I'm interested in, you're already talking about 180%. That in itself could be a massive move. But if I would then pull a fib retracement, and I'm pulling it from the lows here to the highs, and we take an extended golden pocket, yeah, so not this golden pocket right here, which by the way again lines up perfectly with that point of control and that high. Oh, what a coincidence. Not. Anyways, then you have your extended pull of your extended golden pocket right here, and I will name that for you. That is 0.000042 and 43. Okay, so those are two major areas that I'm looking at. Don't take this for a cent more or less. 0.0042, 43. If we get there on a very fast and ferocious move, this does not have to bounce to the damn nanocent. It can go a little bit higher. But if we see a strong retrace from there, or at least some daily candles stopping at and around that level, for me, heavy point to take profit on that long trade. Okay, super important. Would we even blast through that? You could even look at the 2-point golden pocket. So 2.6561 is then at the 0.0066 and 65. I think for now that's already pretty far, but let's say that we are taking out the last all-time high and then we blast through to this extended point. You're talking about a more than a 300% move. So listen, I can keep crying how I lost this or forgot or did not take this 10x trade, although it was staring me in the face. I am looking for the opportunities ahead, and for now when I'm looking at this chart, I do not see a whole lot of resistance above us, because it is underneath. We are breaking out. We have a bullish market structure on the daily. There is volume underneath to support it. There is a trend line. This actually is just setting up very, very nicely for a pretty strong bull run to the upside. And I do not have to tell you that if this thing runs, it runs. I mean, look at these daily candles here. This was absolutely insane. I mean, we're talking here about 200% in 10 days. So keep your apps or whatever you're using, keep in mind. Once Pepe starts moving, I don't care if it's a dog, I don't care if it's a frog, once it starts moving, it will start moving, yeah? And then this train just goes. So then don't wait anymore for your perfect backtest. This right here that I pointed out is probably it. If not, then you have to figure it out yourself. This is for now what I'm looking at, and I am still extremely bullish, not only with this coin in my spot portfolio, but I will try to leverage long this and ride the wave to a new all-time high. Let me know in the comments, by the way, what you think, if I'm wrong or not, if you hold this or not, if you think we're going higher, lower, I don't care what it is. Let me know in the comments. And when you're down there anyways, also make sure that you like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. See you guys very, very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.
Und lass mich nicht hängen.